Welcome to a software demonstration brought to you by QPSMR Limited, suppliers of the QPSMR software suite for market research and analysis. In this YouTube video, we are going to look at using the QPSMR Companion Reserve Responses facility to set up a question where the response numbers do not run sequentially.
We will use an example question that we have in a Word document. As you can see, the question is called Q1 and it asks, when do you eat chocolate? Notice the first 7 responses use response number 01 to 07, the next response other uses number 98, and the last response, none of the above, uses number 99. It is these numbers 01 to 07, 98 and 99 that need to be entered by the interviewer when data is collected and also stored in the data file. To set up this question, we open an existing QPSMR Companion QDF file and use the Insert Entry toolbar icon, the yellow Q, and at the dialog box, as the name, we enter Q1. Notice the type is multi-coded, which is correct as chocolate can be eaten at several different times during the day. Next, we allocate the width required to store the responses. As our response numbers go up to 99, we need to set the width to be 2. If our response numbers went to 999, the width required would be 3. Then, because the maximum number of responses that could be selected by an individual respondent is 8, that is, someone who eats chocolate at all 7 specified occasions plus another occasion, we will set the max responses allowed to be 8. Next, as we have information for the question in a Word document, we will use our right mouse copy and paste buttons to transfer the question text. So, we switch to the Word document, highlight the question text, right click and copy, switch back to QPSMR Companion, and in the text box, right click paste. Now to specify the responses, select the Responses tab and then the Add Responses toolbar icon with 2 small plus signs, and again switch to the Word document. Here we highlight the first 7 response texts and use our right mouse button to copy, switch back to QPSMR Companion and paste, and then select OK. Now we use the Reserve Responses toolbar icon with the red arrow to specify the number of responses we wish to reserve. This includes the 7 we have already entered, and as we will add responses 98 and 99 later, we will reserve 97. To ensure that responses 08 to 97 are not available for selection during data entry, we can tick the Set Refused on New Reserved Responses box before we select Reserve. Returning to the Responses tab, notice that these reserved responses have small red crosses alongside the response number, meaning they will not be available during data entry. Now all we need to do is enter the final 2 responses. Again, we switch to Word, highlight Other and None of the Above, right click Copy, switch back to QPSMR Companion, select response number 97, right click Paste After and then select OK. The only thing left to do is to select response 99, none of the above, and apply the input setting single response only. So if a respondent chooses none of the above, it will be the only response permitted during data entry. Incidentally, QPSMR Companion allows up to 9,999 responses to any single coded or multi-coded entry. To locate an individual response at the Responses tab, click any response in the list and then quickly type a / followed by the response number you require, for example /99. Now to test what we have done, we will save, then select Answers, Test Input Data. We will use Paper Input, select OK and then Add Record. Looking at Q1, notice that responses 01 to 07 are shown, followed by 98 and 99. If we try and select none of the above along with other responses, An error message is shown. As a visual clue, the response icon for none of the above is a circle denoting single code. All others are square tick boxes. Notice also that if we use Ctrl and A to select all responses to the multi-coded question, the single response only, none of the above response is omitted. As we are happy with our testing of question 1, we can close input to finish. Finally, assuming we had entered 5 records for this question, we could take a look at the data by selecting Raw, Data File View and choosing the data file. Here we can see serial numbers 1 to 5 and the response numbers selected by each respondent. For example, the respondent with serial 1 selected responses 02, 05 and 98.
If you would like more details about the products and services available from QPSMR Limited, please visit our website www.qpsmr.co.uk.